Hello, a warm welcome to you in the Ghatna Chakra book video. Let's begin this journey where we will present every topic in a simple, clear, and exam-oriented manner.
So what actually keeps a democracy running? I mean, is it the complex machine of rules and institutions, or is it really about the power of a single person's choice? Well, today we're going to dig into the two engines of democracy and see how they have to work in perfect balance.
To really get our heads around this, we're going to look at two key moments in India's democracy. First, we'll see how the machine itself got built. Then, almost 20 years later, we'll see how the driver, the citizen, was handed a powerful new control.
Okay, first up, let's talk about the bedrock of any fair election, the system. This is all the behind-the-scenes architecture that makes sure, everyone is playing by the same rules. Our story really kicks off right here, in 1994. This is the year when a super important set of rules was put in place to manage local elections, basically creating a standard playbook for democracy from the ground up.
And look, these rules were no small thing. They laid out the exact process for appointing the officials who run local elections in Uttar Pradesh, a state with a population bigger than most countries on Earth. So getting this right was a huge deal. You can think of this commission as the architect drawing the blueprint for a building. Its whole job is to make sure everything is structured, it's sound, and it's totally fair from the get-go, before a single vote is even cast.
So you see, this is our first engine, a top-down machine that's designed to create order and stability. It builds that impartial foundation that you absolutely need to have a fair democratic contest.
But, a perfectly designed house isn't worth much without the person who actually lives in it. So now, let's jump forward almost 2 decades and see how the power started to shift from the system to the citizen.
Right, so nearly 20 years after those first rules were set, the whole conversation changed. The Supreme Court of India wasn't just focused on the system anymore. It was looking at how to empower the voter with a really powerful new tool.
And this was the year it happened. This was when the court handed that brand new, potent tool directly to the voters, and it fundamentally changed the whole dynamic between the people who get elected and the people who do the electing.
This is what's often called the right to reject. It gives a voter the formal, official power to walk into a voting booth, look at the ballot, and just dismiss every single person on it.
And this is what's so brilliant about it. It shows how a really big, profound idea about democracy can become a simple, powerful action. This isn't some protest outside the system, it's a real choice, a powerful voice that you can use from right inside the voting booth.
Okay, so we have these two major pieces, the rigid top-down system and the empowered bottom-up voter. How in the world do they fit together to make a democracy that actually works?
And right here, you can see this perfect democratic tension. On one side, you've got the 1994 system, all focused on order and rules. And on the other, you have the citizens' power from 2013, which is all about choice and accountability. One builds the foundation, the other makes sure that foundation is actually serving its purpose.
Here's a great way to think about it. The system builds the stage, and it sets the rules for the play. But it's the voter who's sitting in the audience with the ultimate power to either applaud the performers or just reject them all.
So what does this delicate balancing act between the system and the citizen really mean for the future of democracy? Where do we go from here?
At the end of the day, a healthy democracy isn't about one or the other. It needs both. You have to have a stable, trustworthy system, and you have to have empowered citizens with a real voice to challenge it and to shape it. And that leaves us with one final big question to chew on. When a voter actually chooses none of the above, are they just dismissing the people on the ballot? Or are they sending a much deeper message about the political system that gave them those choices in the first place? The answer to that really tells you where the ultimate responsibility for a healthy democracy lies.